Colombian businessman charged with money laundering, extradited to the United States from Cabo Verde. Cabo Verde is just off the continent of Africa. So this 49-year-old Saab and this 55-year-old Herman, they actually were charged with laundering the proceeds of violation of Foreign Corrupt Practices Act. So they were actually bribing officials in Venezuela with kickbacks for falsifying documents. So that's what they got them with, and money laundering. And the way they did it in the United States, for they could have gone to any other country, but since the dollar is paid more favorable against the actual Venezuelan government dollar, the currency, it's a big difference. For example, in United States, $1 is worth 20 pesos. $20 is worth 400 pesos. There's a big difference of actual numbers there. So could you imagine now a country that's in more of a financial strain, going to be worth less. So apparently, they acquired a contract to build low-income housing in Venezuela, and they took advantage of actually importing material goods to build them actual housing from the U.S. government. Now, as soon as they started building a report, an actual paper trail stating that they're actually bringing in material, they took advantage and had the actual paperwork falsified for the banking institutions. So they had the government officials stamp off that they received so many pallets of this material. I'll say a brick. They actually 2,000 pallets of brick came in when really 10 pallets of brick came in. So therefore, um, so after you do that, you have to actually um, send it into an American institution, financial institution, and they'll convert the actual monies. And then after that, they would actually send them to other bank accounts that they owned around the world, overseas. So after after actually doing so, they ended up doing $350 million just out of Venezuela through the United States to overseas accounts they owned and controlled. That's a big chunk of change, you know. And I mean, they did it for a while, so they got a lot. They got away with it for quite a bit of while. And the only reason they got caught was the DEA followed the money on one of their actual accounts that actually was being used to finance a drug trafficking ring. So they were trying to, multiply that actual amount that they were putting in. Say, for example, they put in $1 million for this drug trafficking organization and they get five out of it. It could be that easy, but this is how they actually were under the actual radar of the USDA. And that's who actually initiated this actual investigation. Now, on to Guatemala. A violent actual Guatemalan drug lord receives life sentence. This individual, 44-year-old by the name of Wilson, moniker Primazo, he was actually indicted and convicted of manufacturing and distributing 5 kilos or more of cocaine into the U.S. And he was a prolific drug trafficker responsible for the trafficking of large amounts of cocaine to drug cartels and guerrilla fighters in Central and South America. He coordinated shipments with the Revolutionary Army Force of Colombia, also known as FARC, one of Colombia's largest and most violent rebel groups. He had a reputation for employing violence against his rivals, used his illicit proceeds from his drug sales to acquire weapons, and train his personal paramilitary security guards. In April 2018, he was extradited to the United States, to Texas exactly. Despite being in custody, however, he continued to run his drug trafficking organization from various local jails. Fellow inmates helped to facilitate his drug operation by smuggling cell phones and other contraband into the jail facilities. Federal investigators, they actually worked with the Guatemalan Ministry Público to uncover those activities and dismantle his drug operation. In retaliation, he threatened to kill a federal prosecutor. There you go. So he's doing life now. Okay, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe.